Hi guys, Ian here. Welcome to my channel and to another video. And today I've just got back from my morning walk, and in my walk I was thinking about the Kabbalistic Tree of Life and how it's such a wonderful representation of, well, everything really, from the macro of creation and the cosmos and everything, to the micro of myself as a human being. And I was thinking about how, if I look at the tree, I see myself, I see what I am, I see what constitutes me as a physical, spiritual being. And I thought I'd share my rambling thoughts with you. And so come with me on a journey through my mind. Well, the first thing I thought was how the tree is split up into 3 columns, and I've put an image of the Kabbalistic Tree of Life if you're not too familiar with it. And the right hand column, now I'm assuming the Tree of Life, I've backed onto it. Okay, so this is the left hand side. This is where we've got Chokmah and Hesed and Netzah. And on this side we have Bina, Gevurah and Hod. And then above my head is Keter. Around about at my throat is Da'at, which isn't shown on the graphic. My heart center we have Tiferet. The groin area we have Yesod. And at my feet we have Malkut. So on my right hand side, where we've got Bina, Gevurah and Hod, this pillar is known as the pillar of form. And on this side, where we have Chokmah, Hesed and Netzah, this is the pillar of force. And the middle pillar, Keter, Da'at, Tiferet, Yesod, Malkut, pillar of mildness, or the pillar of consciousness. So when I look at Malkut, I see my physical self, that of my humanity, which is a body and muscle, tissue, bone, that of me which lives in everyday 3D life on planet Earth. And if I move up then to Yesod, I see my subconscious self, the part of me which is mind, but not conscious mind. It is the part of me that goes off on my astral journeys when I sleep. It's the part of me that is the bottom of the iceberg that sits beneath the water. It's the part of me which, though is hidden, influences every waking moment of my life. It's the automatic part of me, the part of me that acts without my knowing. Then if we move across to Hod, we see the logical, intellectual, organized, conscious mind. We see the aspect of myself which steers me through, the waking moments of life, which causes me to be able to fit into society and function as an adult human being, which is of structure, which is of organized thought, which is the part of me which seeks out and learns and tries to make sense of my experience. Then if we go across to Netzah, we see the emotional, instinctual part of me, that which holds the drives of my beingness, that which stirs me at sights of beauty and causes me to weep, when I see things that cause me much sadness. It's the Netzer is the engine room of our emotions. Netzer is where our energy comes from. And Hod is that which channels it into operant functioning. So then if we go up from Netzer to Tiferet, the heart center. Now it's said of Tiferet that this center is where humanity reaches up and divinity reaches down. And its name is beauty. Tiferet is the place where all of the aspects of ourselves that are represented on the Tree of Life meet, and they meld and they fuse together. Tiferet's name is beauty, and I can see why. It's also known as the Christ Center. It's the place of self-sacrifice. It's the place where we begin to see our higher being manifest in our physical life. It's not only the place where divinity reaches down and humanity reaches up, but it's the place where those two aspects of ourselves, where our divine nature and our human nature meet, and where they sometimes battle it out for, for who is going to win in this particular argument. It's in the Tiferet Center that we can put others before ourselves. It's in the Tiferet Center where self-sacrifice occurs. It's the Tiferet Center that moderates the influence and the actions and the energies of all the other Sephira on the Tree of Life in us. And from Tiferet we move up to Gevura. And Gevura is severity. Gevura in us is that part of us which is strong and which gives us the ability to take action, sometimes which is hard, sometimes which is cruel. It sweeps away obstacles that stand before us, and it allows us to march through life. Because life is difficult. Even if life is blessed, life is difficult. It's no easy thing to be a human and to go through a life on planet Earth. And Gevura gives us the power to actually get ourselves through life and do things which sometimes are harsh and difficult for us and unpleasant. Gevura, severity. But we need severity, don't we? We need to be able to cut away, to break down, to destroy certain things in our life that we might move forward, that we are not stuck in one place for all of our existence. If we go across the tree then to Hesed, which is mercy. Now Hesed in us is also known as loving kindness. Hesed is all of the good, all of the giving, all of the pouring out of ourselves, all of that in us which builds things, which creates, which manifests, which, I don't want to say the word love, but love is in there, that begets and gives and enriches the life and the lives of those around us. Hesed in the extreme can mean that we become fools, taking advantage of, doormats, because Hesed is the outpouring of ourselves into life, which thankfully severity, Gevura, should keep in check and keep in balance. From Hesed, we go up to Da'at, knowing. Now, this is not, to my understanding, it's not intellectual knowing. It is the knowing of the consciousness that we are beyond our intellectual selves. And this will become a bit more apparent when we move up to Hokmah. But Da'at is that, in me, my experience of Da'at is those times when I have known something in a way that I didn't know it before, especially in my path along the Western mystery tradition, where something I knew intellectually has suddenly unfolded and opened within me like a flower, and it's become part of my experience, where I've known it in an emotional kind of way, where I've known it in a way that feels as if it's in the cells of my being, where I've touched the universal consciousness, and where I've known something. I'm even struggling for words because it's not a knowing of mind, it's a knowing of spirit, if that makes any sense. Yeah. I think Da'at enables us to experience physical truths whilst we're in physical form. It's the link between the knowing of spirit and the knowing of intellect and mind consciousness in human form. So from Da'at we move across to Binah. Now Binah is form. Binah is the principle of form in all of creation, and Binah is also known as the Dark Mother, the Great Sea, Mara, the Bitter One, because I think I've mentioned in some of my videos before, why would form be seen as on the pillar of severity? Why would it? Because form gives us life. Yes, it does. But if you think of the nature of free-flowing spirit, locked into form is harsh. And everything that's born into form must pass out to form, must die. So Binah is severe. Binah constrains, Binah limits, Binah ties down. But it also gives us the opportunity to live in physical form, in physical manifestation, which is the only medium where spiritual growth can occur. We cannot evolve spiritually in the world of spirit. We only evolve spiritually through the experience of physical manifestation. Well, this is my belief. And it's not only my belief, it's not something I've just whizzed off the top of my head. So yes, Binah in us. And then we move across to Hokmah, which is consciousness. It's actually in the pillar of force, it's life, it's the life that sits within us. Now Hokmah its name is wisdom, and Kabbalists see Hokmah as unstructured consciousness. If we're looking at it in the, in terms of us as beings, individual beings, unstructured consciousness, that consciousness which is universal, the consciousness of unity. Because although we are individuals, and though our I is individual, it is also of the unity. Now see, sometimes we find that difficult to understand, don't we? How can I be an individuality, an I, and a unity, a one? They appear to be opposite, and in our world we struggle with opposites existing simultaneously. But that's just because it's difficult in our world. It isn't the same in the spiritual world, that we can be I and we can be unity at the same time. And yes, so Hokmah then, unstructured consciousness. It's the consciousness that we touch when we get our amazing moments of insight and revelation. That's where they come from. And then we struggle, don't we? If you're anything like me, you have those moments of where you think you see it all, you know it all, you understand everything, and then you have to come back. You have to try and make sense of that in your mind and bring it back into your own experience. Binah consciousness. Because Binah will try and create that experience of something that is formless and bring it into form. Why? So that you can know it, so that you can bring it into your existence in everyday life, so that you can perhaps share it with other people. So Binah locks unstructure into structure. Thank you, Binah, the Great Mother. And there's so much more to each of these Sephira that if we spend time looking into them, they pay back so much. You know, I could spend a lifetime on each one, I really could. Anyway, so from Hokmah we go up to Keter. Now Keter is crown, its name is the crown, and you know, so what is Keter in us? Keter is what we are. At the core of us, what we really are. And what is that? Well, we say, don't we, spirit. We say that we are spiritual beings, we are divine sparks, that the Spirit of God is in us, and around that the individuality, the I forms, and the I interfaces with the physical body via the soul, which is the summation of our life experiences. Anyway, in esoteric teaching, okay? But what is spirit? If I say the Keter represents the essential me, and the essential me is spirit, what is spirit? Well, the Kabbalists have an explanation for that. And to know it, we have to look at the structure of the unity, the source, the primal being, which, as I've spoken many times about, is named Ein Sof Or in Kabbalah. Ein meaning no thing, a being of no attributes beyond any kind of means of description, because there are no attributes. It is unity. It is what it is. And divinity says, I am. I am. No more. There's nothing more to say about me. I am. And so Ein, no thing. Nothing that can be described, no characteristics. Ein Sof, without limit. No thing. The only thing that there is. Ein Sof Or, limitless light. So we have no thing, boundless, everything and everywhere, nothing else, no thing and nothing else, and Ein Sof Or, limitless light. And that's what we are. We are the limitless light aspect of the Ein Sof. Wow. So when I believe that God is in me, it's because what I am at my core, is limitless light of divinity. You know, when we think about that, it's mind-blowing. Such potential we have. We are such amazing beings, and often we let ourselves down so badly, don't we? But that's the purpose of our journey. That is the purpose of our journey, that the I that we are becomes worthy of what we are. That the I evolves to be equivalent to the limitless light that we are. That we become gods in our own right, I guess. That we become like Ein Sof. And you know, another really interesting thing about this glyph of the Tree of Life is that in the middle pillar, pillar of mildness, we see the evolutionary journey of humanity, the return of humanity from physical manifestation in Malkut to union with divinity in Keter. Straight up the middle pillar is the path of our journey. And in esoteric circles, this path, straight up the middle pillar, is known as the path of the arrow. And for many mystics, this is what they focus on. The oracles who live in caves or who go into seclusion, or those people who withdraw from life that they might find spiritual actualization, are following the path of the arrow, not concerning themselves with the aspects of life that would I don't know, impact on the Hod and Netzer, on the Gevura and Hesed aspects of their everyday living. No, they turn away from that, and they concentrate on meditation and a life of seclusion, that they might contemplate and contact divinity. Now that path isn't for everyone, it certainly isn't for me, but some say it's a more direct way of achieving the objective of, getting to know divinity. It's all interesting stuff, I think. Anyway, I think this video is going to require some heavy editing because yeah, gone all over the place. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.